Hey guys, it's Shan, the founder of Shades by Shan Cosmetics, and I'm here with my good friend and makeup artist guru, Makeup By Yeya. And today we're gonna show you how to achieve this look using some of our favorite Shades by Shan products, and you're gonna learn some of our secret tips on how to get the perfect foxy eye look. And I know what you're thinking, where can I get these lashes she's wearing? We're gonna tell you where you can shop these MBY lashes and give you a sneak peek on our Shades by Shan latest releases. Stick around.
Now for today's look, we're gonna start with the face. I already prep her skin. Is very important. Before you put any makeup on your face, you have to make sure that you prep the skin right. That's gonna determine how good your makeup comes out at the end. So we already did this off cameras. Now I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do to create that flawless, very matte, very defined type of look. For foundation, today we're gonna be using my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation, and just try to get as close as you can to your skin tone. All right, so I have the foundation that I feel like it's the closest to her skin. We're just gonna start applying a light layer. I know it might seem like it's a lot, but I'm going very, very light. She has really, really good skin, so we don't need to put so much foundation. Make sure that you put this all over, very, very light. I'm applying very little pressure. What do you think, Shan? Like, do you feel like I'm applying a lot of pressure on your skin?
I think you're like beating my face up. No, I'm just kidding. No, it feels really, really good. And it feels super hydrated as well.
Yes, this is all about prepping the skin before applying any makeup. If not, if you don't hydrate the skin before you apply makeup, your face is gonna eat the makeup all throughout the day. Your foundation is gonna separate. It's just not gonna look good throughout the day. It might look good for the first 20-30 minutes, turn this way. But after that, your skin is not gonna look good. And especially when we're going for a matte look. Shan has a little bit more of a dry skin, so creating a matte look on her requires a lot of skin prep. Okay, now that you apply your foundation, the next step will be to blend everything out. For this, I'm using just a regular blender. I'm gonna grab a little bit of foundation on it, and I'm just gonna start pressing her foundation into her skin. This is gonna press the foundation into the skin. You don't want the foundation just sitting on top of the skin. You wanna make sure that you press it in, just like this. It seems like it's a lot harder than what it really is, right? Like, it actually feels really good.
Feels like a massage.
Yes, I know that from far away, you can see like I kind of punching her face a little bit. That's not the case.
It feels good.
So what this is doing is pressing her foundation into her skin, but I'm also removing all the extra foundation. That way she's left with just a thin layer. All we're trying to do here is even out her skin tone. That's it. Okay, we're gonna repeat this all over the face until you're happy with the way everything looks. And just this alone, come on, it's so beautiful. And this is what you want. Her skin still looks like skin. She does not look like she has a mask over her face. Well, it might look like that right now, but it will look better. Wait for me to blend everything.
Right, trust the process. Layer it on, girl. This needs to last all day. And I might not wash my face tonight because that's how good my makeup's gonna look.
Okay. All right, now next step will be concealer. Okay, so now that we have an even layer of foundation all throughout her skin, this is just to even out the skin tone. If you have some type of discoloration, any marks that you want to cover, this will be your first step. Next step would be to add a little bit of concealer to make her face a little bit brighter. All right, so now that I have my two concealers mixed, it's time to apply it. I like to create like a little triangle shape right under the eyes. I don't like to just apply the concealer right under eyes because that attracts a lot of attention. By you diffusing your concealer, creating a little triangle, it's gonna give you a more flawless look. Okay. Now, whatever I have left, I'm just gonna put her in the center of her face, down the bridge of her nose, a little bit on her chin, and I like to put a little bit in the corners of her lips, just to create a little lift. Okay. After you apply your concealer, you're gonna have to wait a few seconds. You wanna make sure that it dries a little bit. You don't want this to dry completely, just a little bit. That way you can go ahead and blend it. If you don't wait, Your concealer is super, super liquid. Your foundation's still trying to set, so you're just gonna mix everything and you're not gonna get the extra coverage. So we have to wait a little bit. Once you feel like it's been there for a couple seconds, you can start blending. And all I'm doing is I'm pressing my blender right on top of her skin. I have the placement done, so you don't need to be moving things around. I already have the concealer where I want it to stay, but I'll just have to make sure, you just have to make sure that you don't have any harsh lines by pressing it into the skin. And I even forgot to get the contour. All the way up. Oh. No. Yes, not like that, Shan. All right. So now we just made her skin a little bit brighter, but we're gonna take it one more step. And we're gonna add a lighter concealer, and this is gonna be just a tiny bit. It's just a drop of concealer because I really want her under eyes to look very bright. Very, very bright. Just go right here. Just like that. Wait for this to dry for a little bit, and then we're gonna start blending the same way we blend the other concealer.
And now we're gonna use one of our Shades by Shan newest products, our translucent powder. Yeya, you've used this on me before. What do you think of it?
It's a really great product. I can't wait to show you guys how it works. If you're using this at home, you can just put it on your lid and you'll be fine. But as a professional makeup artist, we had to put everything on a stainless steel plate. First thing, when it comes down to your translucent powder, make sure that you don't apply this on any foundation that you don't like the way it looks. For example, she has a little lines right here. Her concealer is creasing just a bit. Before I set it, I make sure that I blend those lines away. That is very important when it comes down to translucent powder. If you're not doing this, your foundation, your concealer is not gonna set right. Just keep blending until you're happy with the way it looks. Next step will be to dip your beauty blender into it, just a little bit of product, not too much, and we're gonna press it into the skin, just like this. And keep pressing until the product melts into the skin. I am not a big fan of just putting a lot of product right from the get-go, because sometimes if your under eyes are a little bit more on the dry side, you're gonna look like you have a lot of wrinkles, and that's not what we're going for. We want that flawless under eye look. So this is a trick for that. Just place it and keep pressing it on top of the concealer. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but once you do this technique, the powder is gonna blend into the skin and it just looks really, really nice and smooth. You can do this in all the areas where you feel like you crease. For example, Shan smiles a lot. She's a walking smile, pretty much. Look at this. So what I like to do, okay, stop smiling. That's what I tell her all the time.
All right, okay.
Stop smiling, Shan.
Okay.
So you see how she has those laughing lines? Make sure that we diffuse those lines before we apply any powder, just with whatever brush you have. And now we're gonna add extra powder in that area. No more smiling.
Dang.
Maybe at the end I'll let you have a little smile.
Oh.
Just like that. And that's what I like to do with my setting powder. Don't get rid of this, because at the end I'm gonna come back and add a little bit more, and I'll show you guys in just a second how I do that. Now for my next step, I use a compact powder to set the rest of the face. For this, make sure that you just press it in. I see a lot of people trying to rub you're pressing your powder into the skin. You don't do that, because that's going to be moving your foundation placement. So make sure that you just press your powder in. This is going to give you a matte finish, and it's also going to help make your foundation stay on your face for a lot longer. Your skin looks good.
Thanks, girl. You told me to moisturize this week, so I did. Oh, no smile.
Yes. Stop it. Stop it.
And now we're gonna go in with our latest Shades by Shan product, our contour palette, which is super universal, and Yeya's gonna show us how to use it.
Okay. First thing is to go ahead and pick a shade that is maybe a tone darker than your skin, because we are creating dimension in your face. So for her, it will be something like this or maybe this. I like to mix. This is what I did the last time when I tried it. I just mixed this 3 shades for her. And then you're just gonna go around her face, kind of like where the sun usually hits your face. And all I'm doing is I'm pressing it onto the skin like this. And then you can swipe it, make sure that you don't have any harsh lines. Turn that way a little bit. Just right underneath her cheekbones. If you don't know how to place that, can you do like a little fishy face for me? So when they do that, you can just go, if you do this, you can just go under it, and that's pretty much all you need to do. Okay, that's good, let go. I don't want you to stay like that.
Right.
And what I like about this shades is that you can build up how intense you want the color. So for her, I feel like this is just more than enough. Now her face has some dimension, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Okay, can I have you turn this way a little bit? Her baby hairs. I see some harsh lines. All right, so like I said before, you can build up this color, you can make it as intense as you want. This will be a good everyday type of glam, but for this look, we want it to be a little bit more intense. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the darker shade and just apply it in this area because we want a very defined look today. Same thing on the other side, and just a little bit goes a long way. Okay. Now let me blend it. Okay. Now for our next step is we want to get some definition of the nose. We're not going to contour the nose. We don't want a very harsh look. So I'm just going to go in with those same 3 shades. Just go on the side of the nose. And I'm going to diffuse this into the beginning of her brow. Just like this. I want a very defined look, but I also want it to look soft. And even if it looks a little hard, don't worry about this. We're going to diffuse it later on with our face powder. All right, next step will be to add a little bit of blush. Today we're going to be using the blush palette by Shades by Shan. Super, super cute.
We just redesigned it too.
I know you guys did such a good job.
Thank you.
So I'm going to be mixing apricot and peach. Grab a little bit, and for this is the only time I'm going to ask her to smile, to do big smile.
Get to smile now?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Don't go crazy. Just like this. We're going to place it right on the apples of her cheek, and I'm just going to swipe the color all the way back. When it comes down to blush, I like to go a little bit intense at first because blush is one of those things that throughout the day is going to wear off. Big smile, and then bring it all the way back. Don't worry about this looking a little too bright if that's what you want. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, that you apply your blush, it's a little too intense, but by the time you're done with your makeup application, it kind of like washes off. So I'd rather go a little bit more intense. And this one's so pretty.
Thank you. Super pigmented too, so you
Yes.
don't need a lot. A little bit goes
No,
a
I'm
long.
barely like touching the product, and I have plenty of product.
And I like how you apply it right underneath my eyes too.
Yes,
like
it
right
makes
here.
everything brighter. Now, remember I told you guys I was going to come back to my translucent powder. So this is what I like to do. When I don't have a lot of time to do a very deep, intense type of contour look, what I do is I just grab a little bit of translucent powder and I go right underneath my bronzer. What this powder is going to do here is just going to help me define her bronzer a little bit more. Just like this. We're gonna leave it on for a few seconds. Not too long, like I mentioned before, Shan is a little bit more on the dry side. So if you leave it for too long, it might dry out her skin. Just a few seconds, maybe like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and that's more than enough. All right, next step will be to remove it. I like to just start by getting any fluffy brush and just swipe the product down first. Can you see how that's giving you a very defined, I will say like kind of like contour look, but it leaves that line and that little bit of a white cast. You want to go in with the regular powder and just blend this into the skin. That way you get a very defined bronzer, but you don't have any harsh lines. That's very important. Make sure that you get rid of all the crazy lines. It might look really good in pictures, but in person it looks a little scary.
But if that's the look you're going for,
no judgments.
No judgments.
Okay, look all the way up. Now I'm gonna bring this powder and diffuse everything. Make sure she doesn't have any harsh lines. Make sure everything's well blended. And now we're going into the contour. Blend everything really good. All right, so at this point, I already put a lot of powders on her face. I know I said this before, she's very dry, so you wanna make sure that you keep hydrating.
Do you need to keep saying it? I'm dry. It's the Sahara's
I have
desert
to
right
say
here.
this just in case you're oily and you don't need to do this. But the reason I'm doing this extra steps is because she's a little bit more on the dry side.
All my dry people out there, I feel you.
So it's okay, just get a good hydrating spray and you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray her face. Remember, I put a lot of products on her face. You wanna make sure that the skin stays hydrated all throughout the makeup application. Now we wait for this to dry. But so far, the skin is done.
And now let's get to our favorite part. We actually collaborated on an eyeshadow palette. It's the SBS times MBY palette, and 25% of proceeds from this collection is going to the MamaBerries Nonprofit Foundation to help single parents in need. We actually curated this with literally what you have in your makeup kit and what you use every day. So Yeya calls this her money-making palette. If you have
That's what it is.
if you have clients, if you do makeup on the side, or if you're just a makeup enthusiast, this is the palette for you.
She has a little bit of concealer left on her lids. That's what I'm gonna use as an eyeshadow base. I am not gonna apply anything extra. I'm just gonna diffuse this really, really good all over. Make sure that she doesn't have any crazy harsh lines. And then after this is done, don't open your eyes, keep them down. I'm gonna use the shade Wifey to set that concealer in place. By setting your concealer is gonna help your color pay off, and it's also gonna help your eyeshadows last a lot longer. They're not gonna be creasing. Same thing here. That's why I love this palette. You can use it to set, you can use it to create crazy looks, you can create very natural looks. It's a really good palette. I feel like we got a lot of good feedback from it, right?
Oh my God.
From makeup artists and non-makeup artists. Everyone's loving it.
Absolutely. From beginners to all the way up to makeup artists.
Mm-hmm.
So many people, especially here in the Bay Area, Los Angeles, all over the United States have been shopping this palette. And thanks to you, we were able to donate 25% of proceeds to help single parents. So thank you for having such a big heart, Yeya. That's why we love you.
Oh, thank you for having me, for doing this with me. All right, so now that we set her face with Wifey, we're gonna go ahead and add a transition shade. I'm gonna go in with Mommy right in here. And I'm just gonna go and apply it all over the crease. We're going for more of a catty eye effect, so I'm gonna bring the eyeshadow all the way out, kind of creating the foxy look that everybody's loving lately. Thanks to Kylie Jenner and what is it, Kendall Jenner too, right? Mm-hmm. So just bring the eyeshadow all the way up. And notice how I'm pulling the eyeshadow all the way out. Make sure that you don't just keep it where the eye ends. You want to extend the shadow as much as you can. And then another little thing that I like to do, I like to diffuse this eyeshadow into the beginning of the brows. It gives you a more natural finish. Okay, so that now that we have our crease done, our next step will be to intensify the outer corner a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and add a self-made for that. And this is just gonna be in the outer part of the eye. And I'm still creating that foxy eye effect. It's just a lot of back and forth with colors. Same thing in the other eye. Okay, notice how I'm keeping this eyeshadow just in the outer corner of her eye. I'm not bringing it all the way in, and I'm pulling the eyeshadow all the way out. If you feel like you have any harsh lines, you can go back with your transition shade one more time and diffuse it. Make sure that it does not look super harsh. Okay. Next step will be to go back with Wifey, and I'm just gonna apply this all over the lid. When you want more color payoff from your eyeshadows, try just pressing them in instead of like trying to blend them in.
Yeah, these shadows are super pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way.
Okay. Okay. Just like this, just press it. You can build up the intensity, but I'm happy with the way it's looking. Just gonna go in and grab a little bit more of my self-made eyeshadow and make sure that there's no harsh lines. Super quick and simple. Next thing will be to go in into Girl Boss, but for this I'm gonna grab a smaller brush, really close to the lash line, but just in the outer corner of her eyes. Open your eyes and look straight. What this is going to create for us is going to create a little bit more of a lifted effect, and that's what we're going for this look. Close your eyes, just in the outer corner. We're also going to use eyeliner, but this is going to start creating more of a lift. I love this dark brown eyeshadow. It's so pretty.
Oh, I love it. It adds so much dimension to the eyes too. Just makes everything look so good.
You can honestly just leave your eyeshadows like this, curl your lashes, and I think it's a really pretty look, but obviously we're not gonna keep it there, right?
Makeup by Yeya doesn't do that. She glams you to the moon, which I love.
Done with the eyeshadows, eyeliner. Like I said, you can leave this look like this, put some mascara, maybe some lashes, and that will give you a very, very nice catty effect. But we're gonna take it an extra step and we're gonna go ahead and add eyeliner. For this, totally up to you, whatever type of liner you wanna do. You can go super crazy with the wing, you can keep it natural. Then we're gonna go like a medium type of wing, okay? So just grab your liner, I'm using Inglot today, and a little angle brush. All right, first things first is you have to trace where your eyeliner is gonna be. One thing that I like to do with my clients is that I ask them for them to look straight. You don't wanna do this with your eyes closed, because if you do this, you don't know where your eye ends. And sometimes once you open your eyes, your eyeliner is not gonna be as nice as you think it will come out. So make sure that you start tracing your wing liner with your eyes open. And I'm gonna start doing a little cheek line, starting right in here. This is gonna be my cheek line for her wing. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, try to make them even. see? All right, that looks close enough. Now that you have this little wing, now she can close her eyes, and we're gonna go ahead and make it perfect. So just follow it. And then I'm gonna bring it back into the center of her eyelid, right underneath that brown eyeshadow that we applied earlier. And this is gonna be just half a wing. Open and look straight. You see how that is gonna pull out her eyes? That's the kind of look that we're going for today. Same thing on the other side. Open and look straight. All done with that step, we went ahead and added some mascara. I'm pretty sure we all know how to do mascara at home, just whatever mascara you like. And the next step will be optional. You can just leave it like this and it looks really pretty, but I want to take it that extra step and make sure that it looks very, very foxy. So adding some falsies will complement your look. Today I'm going to be using MBY lashes. This is my own brand, and I'm going to be using the style Leader. They go from shorter to longer, and that's the type of lashes that you want when creating a foxy eye look. Make sure that you cut your lashes, measure them against your eyes. With her, I had to cut just a little bit in the outer corner. Place it in and open your eyes and look at the difference.
You guys, these are my favorite lashes. I have very sensitive eyes as well, and thick band eyelashes really irritate my eyes, but these MBY lashes are by far the best I've ever had.
Oh, thank you. Like down a little bit. I want to make sure that I had like a nice fluffy lash. I'm a makeup artist, so for me that was very important, but I didn't want to I wanted to make sure that the band wasn't uncomfortable. I have very sensitive eyes as well. And as much as I love lashes, sometimes I end up wearing my lashes for an hour, and after that my eyes were just like, yes girl, we're not allowed to do this anymore. So creating those lashes was a lot of fun.
They're so beautiful.
I know, they really take your look from like super simple to like,
it's amazing.
Look at this, so pretty.
And if you guys are interested in shopping some of her lashes, make sure to DM her at Makeup by Yeya on Instagram.
Just send us a DM and we can ship them to you. All done with the eyes, and just look at the difference that made. So pretty. All right, so for brows, we're gonna keep it very natural. A super heavy brow is not it anymore. And I'm so happy that that trend is over. As a makeup artist, I feel like a super defined heavy brow was never a good look.
Especially because I'm not the best at doing brows.
Oh, so this is a good thing. All right, I want to keep the brows natural. When I want to go for a more natural eyebrow look, I always like to use powder instead of an actual gel or a pencil. And you're probably gonna laugh, but look how old this brush is. This is the oldest brush I have in my kit, but it's the best to do brows. I have backups because I know it's gonna give up on me at any time. But I just love the way this brush works.
No judgments, girl.
It's like, I think it's older than my daughter. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and follow her natural shape. I am not gonna be creating a shape for her. Just follow her natural shape and fill in with a little bit of powder. It looks so good.
You did it, Makeup by Yeya. You guys, she is my favorite makeup artist in the whole wide world, and now you get to see why.
I paid her to say that. I'm gonna pay her in lashes.
Hey, I'll take them.
A lifetime supply of lashes. So when it comes down to makeup, what's the hardest thing for you to do?
The hardest thing for me to do is probably eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I could never get them right. They always look like the stepsisters, they say,
Mm-hmm.
instead of so I think yeah, that's like kind of the hardest thing for me.
Well, that's the thing, brows are sisters, not twins.
Exactly.
Like a lot of times we take so long just trying to get them to look even.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it, when you're talking, you're moving your face, you're doing all these faces, so your brows are never gonna look even. So stop wasting so much time. Just follow your natural shape, fill it in, and you're good to go. I love a more organic feel for the brows. Remember, brows are sisters, not twins. All right, so we are all done. I'm just gonna add a little bit of brow gel to make sure the hair stays up, and that will be it for the brows.
And now to finish up the entire look, we're gonna use our Makeup by Yeya times Shades by Shan lip trio that we collaborated on, which also 25% of the proceeds is going to help single parents in need. But we're gonna switch it up here and use a different lip liner from our Pumpkin Spice lip set, which you can also shop at sbscosmetics.com.
All right, so we decided to switch it up a little bit and use a darker lip liner for this type of look because we are getting into our beautiful fall season. So I feel like the darker the liner, the more fall inspired type of vibe it gives. And that's it. That is what we're going for. And this will be totally up to you. You can outline your lips as much as you want. I like to do that, but I like to do it little by little. Start by building up the color, and then little by little I start detailing the lips. I love this tone of brown. So pretty. I feel like doing lips is honestly like one of the most detailed things. It seems like you're doing the same thing over and over again, but you just have to detail them. If the lines are not nice and perfect, it just takes away from the whole look. Take your time. Okay. Just like that. I'm running slow on this one. Said I'm running so low with this one.
I know mine is like this much left at home.
That's how you know we use that. And then we're gonna go ahead and add a gloss because everything else looks so matte. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add our 1985 liquid lipstick. And Shan, I gotta tell you, I am not a big fan of liquid lipsticks at all. My lips get so dry, but your formula is so hydrating. And that's the only reason I agreed to do a liquid lipstick type of trio.
With us?
Because I like the formula. If not, I would have been looking for excuses the whole time.
Thank you.
Yeah, but they are really, really good. They stay on for a very long time. The color is super pretty. So obviously you can just leave it like this, wait for this to dry, and that will look super, super pretty. But the fact that we kept everything else super matte, I decided to add a little bit of gloss. I love me a glossy lip. You're more of a matte person. I love a glossy lip, so today she gets to do whatever I want.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God, this gloss is all you need in life.
So good. And both of these colors come in the lip trio as well.
So you get to buy a super pretty nude trio. You can use the lipstick by itself, you can use the gloss by itself, you can mix them, and then you get to help a really, really good cost on top of that.
Yeah, single parents.
It doesn't get any better than that. Makeup with the makeup for a cost.
Or makeup on a mission.
Exactly, love it. Look at that, so pretty.
Oh my God, thank you, Yeya.
Okay, so what else can we do? Should we add anything else? No highlight, we kept it matte. How about we do a little bit of the inner wing, just to give you more of that foxy vibe that we were going for right from the get-go. Okay, so we are all done. As you can tell, she looks beautiful, quick and simple look, but we're gonna take it, we're gonna do something a little extra. We're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of eyeliner in the inner corner of her eyes just to give her more of that foxy eye that we were talking about. So for this, I just need you to look the opposite direction all the way up. And then we're just gonna bring it down with the tip of the brush and just create a little wing right in here. Just like that. Same thing to this eye, look all the way up. see. Oh, so pretty. And for this, it's very important to have a very flat brush, like a very pointy brush, because you don't want to get this all over the place. Like that. Let me see. Right down. Open, down. Open. Okay, that's it. Just keep this simple. All right, look straight. Okay, and that's pretty much it. At this point, if you feel like your face is a little dry from all the powders, you can go ahead and add some hydration again.
Because I'm so dry.
And a little bit of setting spray, just to make sure that this face is not going anywhere. And we are all done with the look.
And this is it, guys. This is the final look using our Shades by Shan products as well as our Makeup by Yeya lashes. If you guys want to purchase any of these products, make sure to get to sbscosmetics.com or DM MBY Lashes on Instagram. I love, love, love this look, Yeya. You are making me look like $1 million, and I'm totally making my boyfriend take me to dinner. Outdoor dining, of course, because I'm not gonna go home and wash this off.
There's no way. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And now, Shan, let's do a little test. Did you learn anything new?
I did. I learned to let the concealer dry a little bit before blending it out, not packing on too much translucent powder, and how to properly warm up the face without doing all the crazy contour stuff.
Yes, contour can seem a lot very complicated for a lot of people. Just warming up the skin is a lot easier, and you can still get a very defined look.
Yeah, so definitely check out our contour palette at sbscosmetics.com because we make it super easy and user-friendly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeya, I love you forever and always, my favorite makeup artist on the entire planet. See you next time.
Bye.